We know that exercising has tremendous physical and mental health benefits, but there's still a lot of people that struggle to remain consistent whenever they exercise or do some sort of physical activity. I've been exercising and have played sports for over a decade, and here are a few tips that have helped me be consistent and be on track with my workout routine. The last tip is one that I think people overlook, and it's actually very, very important. So tip number 1, I do physical activities that I enjoy. So we know that, for instance, not everyone enjoys going to the gym. And that's okay. Not everyone should go to the gym if they don't like going to the gym. There's so many other physical activities or exercises that you can do that will help you be physically active, right? So for instance, you can run if you're a runner. You can do trail running. I think this is when they run up on those hiking routes in the mountains. You can swim if you enjoy the water, if you enjoy being in the water. You can play tennis, for instance. You can play sports, something that keeps you physically active, right? So find what you like and do more of what you like. But in so doing, I find that also it's very important to vary physical activities. So I, for one, I do yoga, I do strength training, I cycle as well. This is because our bodies move differently, right? So it's not like every time when you sit down in a perfect squat. No, you don't. So I think it's very important to do different types of movements that will allow you to move as flexibly as you can and allow you to use all parts of your body. Tip number 2, have time-saving systems in place. What I mean by this is that if you're someone who maybe has a very demanding schedule, what you can do is you could meal prep, for instance, right? So what this could look like is that maybe over the weekend, when you know that you're not too busy, you try to prep as many of your meals as you possibly can. And if you're someone, for instance, who thinks that, but I don't like eating the same thing every day, that's fine. That's very common. A lot of people are like that. Then try to vary your meals, right? You don't have to be forced to have chicken Monday to Friday. You can make different types of protein. Perhaps make some, like a little bit of roasted chicken, make a little bit of fish here, maybe, I don't know, make chickpeas there, and then you have different protein types that you can have during the week, right? But in so doing, now you know that you also have reduced decision fatigue. You don't have to think about what you're gonna have for dinner during the day, because you know whatever's in the fridge is whatever I'm gonna consume. And that's that. Tip number 3 is to join group exercises. So I find group exercises to be very beneficial to people that are new to gym, for instance, or new to working out in general, because we not only want to be consistent with working out and being physically active, we also want to make sure that we're doing these things in proper form and correctly so that we avoid injuries. So with group exercises, the one thing that I like is that you typically have a qualified personal trainer heading the class, right? And with some classes, you'll find that the personal trainer will go around in the class as people are doing exercises to make sure that you're doing them correctly, to make sure that when you are doing that squat, you're not putting too much of your body weight on your knees, for instance, right? Because you don't want those knee injuries. They really will set you back in life. It's exhausting. I know, because I've had a knee injury and that was not fun. So yeah, so you can join a group exercise because it's also motivating. I mean, if you're in a class with other people exercising, it motivates you. When you feel like you're running out of energy and then you see someone next to you, they're still, right? Then you're like, hey, then I'm gonna. Especially if you're competitive, and that can help you get to the end of the session and know that you have done your workout for the day and you had it maybe in a really fun class, right? So yeah, that is the one tip that I think for me has helped me a lot. Tip number 4, this one is a bit cliche, but I think it has its merit, and that is that wear workout clothes that make you feel good about yourself. If you're someone who doesn't like to look like their problems, then wear clothes that make you look like the snack that you are, because why not? Life's too short. So you can maybe perhaps wear clothes that match. That will make you feel good. You feel good, you do good. right? But importantly as well, try to buy clothes that are practical for exercising, like buy breathable clothing items. If maybe you're someone who has a bit of a big bust, you can invest in like really good high impact sports bras that help you work out comfortably without worrying about the one boob going up and the other one going left. You know, things are in place, comfortably so. So yeah, I think this is a very important one as well. Tip number 5 is that as best as you can, make working out convenient. Working out doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be this big event. Make it convenient for yourself. If you're someone like me who doesn't like to drive everywhere, then perhaps in your area and you want to go to the gym, find a gym that's close by where you are able to walk there. In that way, you're also getting some steps in there, right? Because I mean, now everyone is tracking their steps and whatnot. So, you know, find a place where it's quick for you to get there and it's quick for you to be in and out. Another thing is we have Pilates classes now. We have all sorts of classes, boxing sessions. We have, in our neighborhoods, we have groups of people that run together as a group. So try to find a group like that and run with them. That also helps to keep you accountable, right? So yeah, make exercising convenient. It does not have to be hard. Don't make your life hard unnecessarily. There's no need. Tip number 6. So this one I'm currently not doing, but I think if you're new to exercising and just working out, if you're able to, if you can afford it, hire a personal trainer. You know, like find a personal trainer. Even if maybe you can't afford to have a personal trainer for like long term, you can get a personal trainer that maybe shows you how to work out for the first few sessions, right? They teach you how to work out properly for the first few sessions, and then afterwards you tell them that, look, I could only afford you for 3 months and that's it, and that's fine. And then like now you keep doing the workouts that they taught you, right? And you mix this up with like a group exercise, voila, now you will be hard to stop. So tip number 7, which I really think a lot of people get wrong, is that do not overcomplicate exercise. Don't overcomplicate it, because it's not a complicated process whatsoever. The one thing that you need to do with working out is try to gently make it part of your daily routine. So I find that a lot of people overcomplicate working out. So now a person wants to make sure that they're wearing apparel that matches, like your sports bra matches your t-shirt, matches your pants, matches your shoes, your running shoes, and you want it to be like by whatever expensive brand. I mean, there's no need. There are other shops that sell clothes for working out that are much cheaper that a lot of people can afford. Do that. Start with that if you're able to, right? Another example is when maybe, for instance, you're someone who wakes up at 8 a.m. and now all of a sudden you're like, I'm gonna start working out and I'm gonna wake up at 5 a.m. Why? Why would you do that to yourself? What I find with overcomplicating exercise is that, like, when you overcomplicate it, it can seem more daunting and less achievable. So you don't want to do that, right? You want to make it, as mentioned in the point before this one, 2 points before this one, you want to make it convenient. You want to make it easier for you. So the best way to start, for instance, if you are someone who doesn't exercise at all and you're wondering, how do I start? Start small. Start small, guys. Baby steps always with everything that you do in your life. Baby steps. So for instance, you can start by exercising twice a week instead of doing the full-blown 7-day-a-week exercises because you're like, oh, but Thandi does it. Well, Thandi does it because Thandi has been doing this for years and she's used to it. So start small. Give yourself grace. Start small. Exercise twice a week, and then maybe after the first month you add one more day where you exercise 3 times a day, right? By so doing, then you'll make sure that you are able to stick to this new routine. It doesn't take over your entire life and become this main thing. No, you want it to be as simple as possible so that you are able to stick with it and make it as practical as possible for you, however that looks like.